welcome,
in 5 minutes.
welcome, sir.
But then somebody told me wake up and sweep the room. I was like, today I'm not sweeping the room. But he said, you son, you are supposed to sweep the room. I said, no, even you are my elder brother and you have also to show me an example. But who was I talking to? My father. How could I know he's my father? When you were sleeping in the same room, cycling, the very supper we eat together in our mother's house. Now the so-called my grandmother. By the way, life is full of episodes, and I will only give you an episode of my story. And it's not so touching, it's not so emotional, so I don't expect you to cry in the next 2 minutes. By the way, leadership is just an ability to lead. Eh? Ability to organize, to direct and control a group of people like you. I can easily control you to fall down there. But you know, when God chooses you as a leader, like Jonah could try to run away, and somehow I remember also I tried to run away. But how could I get out of that? I remember when I was in Form 2, I was entrusted in managing students. I was now the assistant school captain. But inside my class, before I became the assistant school captain, I was the class prefect. And I tell you, I used to trim my class. I shaped them to size. I was the overall. I was the overall say of everything. In fact, my class teacher relied on me so much. Until one Saturday when the deputy was away, and of course he was the only parent I had around. And anytime any misconduct would arise, he could solve them amicably and strictly. So, in any organization, in any groupings, of course we have 90 students. So I had some very rude boys and 2 rude girls who just woke up one Saturday and started, Wanyama, by the way, it is too much. God will pay you for this. You know you are a pastor. You've always done us so bad. You know you've always umetufanyanga vibaya sana. So these people I felt, I was a kind of person who could not be told anything. In fact, now how can a leader be directed on what to do? That is now the kind of mentality I used to have. So these people were like in another way threatening me. They said so many things until I was like, just leadership, making me go through all these stresses. Then I have to quit leadership. Or else if I don't, then I have to run away from school. So that is the plan I had in mind. I remember it was noontime. I woke up, I told everybody, I'm now going. And by the way, nobody could even hesitate and join if I was to speak something of going away. Because they knew tomorrow they will not come in the school, so they will not put on ties. And when I told them, I remember there is another boy who was just brought in late, a newcomer. I gave him the locker. I took all my books and I said, if leadership can bring you to this level, then it ends with my schooling in Namachanja High School. That is my high school I went. It was that very Saturday, and of course it was a day school. Deputy was not around. I went home. In fact, I did not supervise the cleaning and any other routine I used to. So I went home. I used to stay with my with my aunt, just in the town, in the midst of the town. So I went home knowingly that that has marked the end of my high school in Namachanja. So should I go back to school, then it's another school and not Namachanja, where these people have bestowed their people on me, and now no student wants me. So I went to my aunt, and of course, by the way, any charming boy will remain a charming boy. Any stubborn guy will remain stubborn, even if he humbles himself to which level. What do I mean? Me, I used to be very funny, and just immediately getting out of school, I forgot that I told them I would never come back. So when I reached home, I did not explain anything that had happened in school. So the weekend went on, only to realize on Sunday that tomorrow is a school day, and I had promised I would not come back. So which excuse can I give? Now I went to my thoughts and I started thinking all the whole bag of tricks I could use to escape this. And guess the first one. I decided to fake sickness as an excuse not to go to school. But how could I do it? Because I hardly fall sick, by the way. In any case, even whenever I could complain of sickness, my grandmother knew it is viasi. Akikuletea mabugoni chapa yo, where you are well, go to back to school. Because that is the only sickness me I could feel. I could feel the head is burning me when I was hungry, after eating everything. But now, how could I convince my aunt, and she knew it very well? So I saw the evening came, I had not explained everything. And of course, as a parent, she expects that you wake up and go to school as usual, 5. So the overnight, I was thinking, now how can I trick these people? I don't want to go to school. So at 4, the time I always wake up to read. At 4, I woke up. I went to my auntie's door. I knocked again. Go. Woke up. I just sat there, very helpless and almost died. I said, "Oh, I am sick." In fact, I forgot. I was planning to say the head, but I said stomach. Stomach. Nimeanza saa ngapi? Naanza tu usiku wakati nilienda kulala na inanianza hata sisi. Siku na pain killer, wacha nikutafutie Panadol. Nikayo Panadol. I had to take medicine. I took that Panadol akanipatia na maji. That how can I escape this? Anyway, I took it. So akasema enda lala ikizidi wacha asubuhi ifike. He went back. I walked very fast to the room. No, he slept. I slept until 9. I knew even if I wake up at this particular moment, nobody will tell me to go to school. So I woke up again. In fact, she came and Kevin, enda siku junani tumbo bado na kuuma. Kasema inaenda kukua kidogo lakini bado. Oh, nimedhani imepoa uende shule. I just kept silent. I did not answer that question. So finally I woke up to take tea. After the tea, I knew if I sit around here, they will realize I'm not sick. So I decided very early in the morning, not the usual way, to take the cattle to the riverside. Of course, to water them, to feed them, and just to remain there swimming. I went there, I swam the whole day. I forgot I was sick. I went back so I started playing with the kids now. My aunt now could just realize, oh, Anyam is all right tomorrow. So the next day again, I was now the very night I was like, I had planned I don't want to go to school. These people, over all this time, I don't want to go back to that school. So by then, I have a father, so I had not communicated to him. But also the father, he works in town, though he goes back to rural place. So I never minded informing him. So my aunt was like, oh, umepoa kesho utaenda shule. Imekuwa inapoa kidogo, imekuwa inapoa, not imepoa. So overnight again, I woke up the very time I went. I said, this time round I said to the head, the head has just begun from nowhere. I don't know. I don't. So this was like, oh, but today I will inform your father of this. I just kept quiet. I went back to sleep again. The day passed, but that day he informed my father, but I did not know. So I went back to the riverside. I swam to the river when I was looking after the cattle. So when the evening came now, so tomorrow I had no any other excuse. Now I'm faking sickness, but I cannot fake it consistently, even for 5 hours. I cannot just pretend I'm sick for 5 hours, unless when somebody is sick, that person is expected to eat little, to maybe to play little, yes, to make jokes. But hey, contrary to my behavior, by the way, I was eating, I forget I'm sick, as if I had work. I was making jokes, everybody laughs. Now, so I had made up my mind. Should I just go to school? But no, I will wait and see what they have to do. Because she will not again wake me up. She just know I'm sick. And every morning I'm supposed to be sick. So that morning I hear now in school, the previous week we had planned with with the class teacher that on Monday morning we'll be shuffling the class, and the class teacher cannot do it without my presence because it doesn't know how those people relate. And I could, by the way, I could boldly and candidly stand up and say, you and you and you, let's go this way. So that's why. So the class teacher walked up to my class. That's the story I was being told. No, he came and he was like, oh, Kevin is absent. For the first time, the class was celebrating, just silently. You know, the kind of celebration, they had no ties, they had no socks, because those are the very strict things I had put in my class. You can never miss them and come to my class. So they were told, Wanyama said on Saturday that he is leaving for good, he will not come back. In fact, he showed as the Kibabi leader. You know, I had been called to a provincial school, but little of the fact I went to a day school because of course, those problems some of us have been experiencing. So I had showed them that later that truly I'm going to this school I had been called. But no, why did I go that time? Because I had no money. So this time I have the money. Hata kama ataya kuishi kunyangi na mandazi. So ni klasi akauliza nani mwenye anajua namba yake. By then I never had a phone. Hakuna nani mwenye anajua kwao. Nobody knows where I come from. Oh, she went back to the office. She said I will come and confirm the following day. So the following day again she came and nobody was around. That is the first time I hated computer. I hated computer. I hated computer with all my interest. Only I've gained the interest very recently. That you know, when you during admission you are given those, you give all those details, do number ya baba yako. So they went to computer and cite the number of my father. So they had called my father to discuss. So they had explained, Kevin ametoroka shule. Na babangu anajua mimi naenda shule kila siku. Na my aunt pia amemwambia eti Kevin ni mgonjwa huku. Sasa so you can find the kind of confusion. So that Wednesday aunt told me, "We toka hapa uende OC, uende uone shida yako nini." I went, my father called me, nikaenda hospital, akasema, "What's your problem?" Try to explain, nikajaribu ku explain. I don't know how to explain how a sick person looks like. Nikajaribu kusema vitu, akasema, "I'm not understanding." Na sura ya kazi, sasa nashangaa mimi ni mgonjwa na unaniletea sura ya kazi. Akanipatia 100 bob, akasema enda kwa lab kwa hospitali upimwe, uniletee results. Nikasema kwisha. Sasa lab naenda kupimwa, mimi sijaenda hospitali, sijai kuwa mgonjwa. Hii sasa si ni ukweli imejulikana. Nevertheless, I went to the hospital. Nikafika hapo, in fact I remember nilisumbua ile siku madaktari. Nilisumbua. Line wanasema kaa hapa, sikai. I'm sick. I cannot sit. When I sit, I fall more sick than I am. So nikasumbua ile siku mpaka wanafunzi wengine walikuwa wamekuja around wakashangaa Wanyama hapo hapa. So finally nikaenda huko, nilikuwa naomba tu Mungu aniandikie dawa. Nikaenda nika explain, nikaambia daktari tafadhali niandikie dawa hii. So I'm prescribing the medicine, I don't know which disease. So daktari anyway akasema enda lab upimwe, nikasema kuisha. Siendi. Nikaenda tu nikawaambia wameniambia nikuje nipimwe. I gave them na wakanichukua damu na nikaenda church kwa town. So I went, nikafika church, nikaingia music room with the instruments, nikasahau I was sick and I'm supposed to go and pick the result. So pastor akaniuliza hapo, "Oh Wanyama, why are you not in school?" And I was laughing, nikasema father, so finally nikarudi huko, akaniambia results no MPs seen. Yani mimi na hakuna ugonjwa umeonekana. I was to take back the results, but the thing is niliacha tu hapo, nikasema tomorrow I'm going to school. Kesho kufika shuleni sikuenda the usual time. My father and the class year walikuwa wameitana kuja shule. Why? The reason was mimi sikutaka kuwa class prefect. Sikutaka again kuwa because hii vitu ni stress. But I thank God everything was brought back to normal. Like Jonah, the fish swallowed Jonah inside the stomach of Jonah. Jonah had to realize inside the stomach of the fish. Jonah had to realize that he has to accomplish the mission. And back to the system, nikaendelea tu kwa assistant until I was a captain, and the leadership has continued even as we see. Lazima Mungu awabariki kweli.
Jesus a cloud. Wanyama amenikumbusha vitu vingi sana za high school, and I will not talk about them. Praise the Lord. But it's true. Leadership ya class, kwanza class monitor. Oh my goodness. unawekelewa mambo unaambiwa unajipendekeza wewe ni spy wa administration. Otherwise you thank God you are blessed. But one time you need to realize that you have a talent of spoken words. You can do something about that. Ama ujarealize spoken words zikifanya mali hapa. He has that talent. Okay. So far so good. Praise the Lord. I'll give you a very brief story about myself. I finished my class. I actually got born again in 2007 in class 7. I'll be very, very brief. 2007 in class 7. After getting circumcised. And God used me in a gracious way. 2008 I did my first KCP. 2019. Unable to doing Form 1 in 2009. I went deep to the forest of Mau Forest, raising the house. But a preacher of the word, because by the grace of God I still was welcome to such a forest, still in the bush. So the others went to Form 1, 2009 up to April. Form 1 walikuwa narudi maybe hii inapatikana tu hapo nyumbani, nilikuwa pia business kidogo ya hoteli. Nilikuwa nimeanza pia life ya kuhustle. That is when God used somebody from Meru. I was welcome to Meru to go and preach. After before the end of the month. So when I went to Meru to preach in a church, God grace was upon me. So I preached, they loved me. Wakambia wa preach hiyo next Sunday. Nikahubiri hiyo Sunday nyingine. Mwezi wa 5 ulikuwa unakaribia. And then baada ya kuhubiri Sunday 3 hao wengine chote zingine tukasikia kuna kijana Masai amekuja huku Meru. Actually that was my first time to go the longest journey ever in my life to be Meru. So when I preached at that time and I was welcome in the church, I went and preached. Shule imefunguliwa nikaalikwa high school. And I went and preached and asked them, what level of education do you think I've attained? They said, oh, you're in campus. I went and relaxed. For months, but I will go by grace. So by the grace of God, the millions people loved me. And they took me as their child. I had no problem. When it came to money, anything else, they loved me with no reason. And I loved Jesus to the fullest. So come mwezi wa 5, and they advised to me that I should repeat high school. And I was big, as you can see, just the way I am. As I was in class, I was the biggest of all. I went to God too, and I was humble enough. God blessed me. Nikasoma term 2. I did a little registration. Nikasoma term 2, and only term 3. And I did my KCP. And I got 364. I was the best in that division. While we did our little exams, this is external kurangiwa na son. Actually, when I wrote a composition, it used to circulate till today. When I go to school requesting for a job, oh, you're the one who used to write compositions and you are reading all over the school. And I just glorify the Lord for that. So after I finished and got a 364, the issue is peace. Dad never wanted me to proceed to Form 1 because we are so many of us. I'm born in a family of 18 children. My father is a polygamous. Actually, 9. My mother has 9. The other mother has 9. Only minus about 4. I'll have to get a team of football. So, we are 18 of us. But I thank God. The sisters here have been married, all of them. Apart from our one and only last one. 13 are boys. 13 are boys. That's what the truth is. Those are high school kids. 13 are boys and 5 are girls. And only one has been. The rest are married. So now it just reach this opportunity whereby we are waiting for the admission certificate. Wala na wametoka za Januari nilikuwa kwanza kajibodia kile nilikuwa namba 3 maana nilikuwa na grade 4 kwa mbele kidogo. And my prayer was very specific. I want to go to student high school. Nilifanya shopping mpaka sasa itamfikia kesho nitaenda Kajondoni. And my prayer was still God, I want to go to school. Now the following day before I went to Kajondoni, just one day before I went to Kajondoni, God caused the principal. It was a religious school by that time. But my prayer, while we went to KFC to go at home, actually while I was still in Naro, was that God one day, I want to move out of our county, and I mean of our, it was that time I want to move out of our province and study in a national school. And before I finished, while I was in Condre, our school became a national school. So I was a product of a national school. So the prayer, God fulfilled. Now there came a time when I need now the school fees, no money. Actually, Papa just gave me 9K. 4,000 and 5,000 I did shopping, kabaki na 4,000. Mungu alimpost principal akaniletea hiyo admission letter wa Ikubu hadi mahali nilikuwa. And I thank God for the need. Now, came the issue of the fees. I had no money. Kaenda Ikubu is 4,000. came that day of registration. 18,000 cash was needed. Mtu alikuja hapo na 17k, akaambiwa rudi endea 1,000. And I went with the 4,000. And God graced me enough. Principal alinikubalia niingie kule shule with all that balance of about 14,000. Hakuna kitu nililipa. On 28th of February 2010, God did a miracle in my life. We applied for scholarship, and out of 3,600 applicants, only 10% of them got. That is 360 got the scholarship. And amongst them, that is the first time I appeared in a national, actually it was the Daily Nation newspaper, number 80 out of 360. And I glorified God all throughout my high school. My father has never sold even a ticket. Hata baba yangu hajakanyanga kwa miguu hivi high school ambayo nimesomea. And I glorified God. He provided to me all along. And I thank God because during high school I started them as a Christian chairman, as one of the pastors in the institution, and very other many things that are not relevant for now. Praise the Lord.
Imagine the video.